Hello, and I hope this is working because one never knows with the bloody internet. And my live stream rose over the last 8 months. Jesus Christ, at one stage I was live reviewing every single day. But yeah, hello, and nobody's on, so that's a good thing maybe. So tonight I'm actually going to do a live Pina Cologer review. Good evening, Benjamin, mate. How are you? And I've had... So, let me find the bottle before I end up chucking them in the bin. Bloody hell. Fucking £5 for a £5 in Tesco's. That is stunning. And then not only that, obviously, we have the Death Star, £4. And again, absolutely stunning. Can't wait for Morrison's tomorrow. Not really sure what's in Morrison's. I've heard a few bits and bobs are in Morrison's. You know, bloody hell, there's some amazing beers coming out. I thought this was the end, at least for the next year, until the world sorts itself out, if the world ever is going to sort itself out. But in any case, Pina Cologer. See if it's any good. So, whoa, the bottle is hazy. It's been in my bloody car, and then I've transferred it to the shed. So slightly hazy lager, little bit of something on there, and smell the pineapple on the nose straight away. You know, really good pineapple on those. Not much of carbonation on there. There is a hint of carbonation. I won't say there's a lot of carbonation, and certainly no head. I suppose it is what it is on that side of things. So here we go. So color-wise, Morrison, vocation, yeah. One versus the other, though, that might be a different thing, but tasting them differently, the vocation one was better. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, it all depends if you like mint chocolate. But it just feels more luxurious, you know, because it's barrel aged, the bourbon element coming through. So, Pina Cologer, Mangrove Jacks. Yeah, pineapple on the nose all day long on this one. Certainly pineapple on the taste. I think the vocation one was a £5. Northern Monk was £4. So, yeah, I think, anyway, I can't remember personally. I know, obviously, there's a lot of new ones coming to Morrison's at some, depending on where you live in the country. Looks like it's just me and thee at the moment. What is it? The vocation one cheaper than the... Yeah, God knows how. It's just one person in there. Maybe it's because of all the beer reviews tonight. Yeah, Monk's vocation's £4. No way. Monk's £5. Oh, that's a surprise. I thought it was the Monk that was £4. Being as it's, I mean, obviously the vocation one is 330ml. Monk's 440, but still, you know, one's a barrel aged beer. Monk is the big, yeah, I get that, yeah. Yeah, God knows how, it's just one on one. Yeah. Probably everyone's still watching the vocation ones and don't think this is around. Oh, well, I'll just talk. Drink beer. Do as you do. Northern Monk in Morrison's was £5 too. Yeah, I've not seen the Morrison's one yet. Yeah, I've not been into Morrison's. You know, I'm just watching Craig's live chat, and he's got 6 on, and basically it's just me and thee. That was good. And I know I can see him. He's over there. Good evening, Tad. How are you, matey? It's been a while. How's things going? Oh, so it's actually tasting really nice. Pineapple, hint of coconut in the background, and yeah, it doesn't look like traditional lagers. Look, good evening, Shane. Yeah, it doesn't look like our traditional lagers look, but the bottle was solid. I am going to do more lives, yeah. Now I'm back. I'm back home now, and I've got 2 events coming up. One over at the Alter Ego Taproom, basically at the end of October, and then one at Fire Rock in December, and that's it. So I'm hardly going out now. Obviously, Christmas is coming up. We've all got kids and families and partners to pay for, so I need to calm it down. To be fair, problems, yeah, we all have problems, don't we? You know, life seems to be full of problems. I mean, you look at what's going on in the media. The flipping government's just absolute laugh, in it. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's a laugh and a half. And you know, you look at. I was at this, in Bridlington yesterday, with the waves bouncing up. It was dark as hell in the middle of the day, and it's like, Jesus Christ, is this what the world's like at the moment? It's not good for anxiety and stress, mind you, but yeah, life's full of problems, and you know, it's just getting over those problems, isn't it? And trying to look past them, trying to cope with them and all that. So yeah, Mangrove Jacks. If ever you've tried Mangrove Jacks, you have to cut the bloody. It comes in a foil pack. You have to cut the foil pack, which is dead weird because you'd think that the yeast was on the outside, but it's not. The yeast is in a separate sachet on the inside, and it's a strange one. Plus, you need to use a bag to put your hops in, otherwise the hops go all into the beer, and you've got a nightmare scenario. Not done any brews for ages, but starting again using some pressure brewing. Total joke. The government is crazy. It is crazy. Benjamin. Grandparents love Brid. Great auntie lives there. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Bridlington against Filey batters it. I mean, the fact that there's actually a brewer doing beer on the seafront in Bridlington, well, basically just round the corner, is amazing. His beers, which are on the back wall, just, oh, where are they? Just over here. You can just see one. His beers, absolutely amazing. And I'm going to start reviewing them over the next week or so. I'm going to try and do 2 or 3 reviews a day. Try and do 1 live a day. I'll pick a beer that's not local, one that I can do a live review, and I don't really know the brewery and all that. But for normal reviews, I'll stick to doing local reviews then, and supermarket reviews also, because they're good for the channel in the long run. But yeah, 2 great beers. It seems that Asda have got a load of new beers coming out, as well as Morrison's, as well as Tesco's. Sainsbury's are jumping onto the bandwagon. It's crazy. It's that time of the year when, you know, you've got no money and everyone's chucking bloody beer at you. Local breweries the same. There's at least 7 new local beers that I want. I simply can't, you know, put the money to them. And the local beers are obviously more expensive than supermarket beers because, as you know, supermarket beers are always going to be cheaper than your local stuff. Neon Raptors just bought 4 new beers out for flipping Halloween. And a couple of rebrews, I think. And then Bang the Elephant have literally bought 4 new beers out. There's 8 beers from 2 great local breweries. crazy. Yeah, Bridlington was okay the other day. I went yesterday and it pissed it down, but plenty of stuff to do there. There's a Weatherspoons there, which helps. It does help matters when you've got a Weatherspoons, because there's somewhere cheap to get a beer from, whether or not you support your Weatherspoons and all that. But craft beer bars, cask beer bars, and obviously there was a local brewery as well, and Taproom. And yeah, it was an enjoyable place to go to. Yeah, I know. Not enough funds. Yeah. You've got to look at where you're going. I'm kind of leaning now towards breweries that actually take when you do a beer review and they actually respond to you. You get a lot of breweries that are so bloody ignorant and never, ever, ever respond, even a like or anything. And it's like, why do I review your beers? You're miserable bleeders. Unless it's a box ticking beer I want to review. I mean, that's normally the way I go. And I think that's going to be the case in the future, where I look at beers and I think, yeah, it's a session IPA. Do I really want to keep reviewing session IPAs? Probably not, in the grand scheme of things. But in any case, nice to be back home in the beer room. I've had no internet all week. Jesus Christ. How do people go on who live out of the cities? This must be a pain in the arse. In Filey, where he was, on the beach, full internet. Yay. And in the caravan, no internet whatsoever. No internet. I'm sitting there at nights and I'm thinking, for God's sakes. Yeah, and then it's what? I was like getting the smallest trickle of internet. It's like every 5 minutes, all of a sudden, I'd get a burst. And it's like, oh, internet. Quickly go on Facebook, check my emails, and then all of a sudden, it's gone again. And it's like, how do people go on who live? We all, these days, phones are so important. The internet is so important. And it's like being back in the Middle Ages where you got no internet. I mean, last night we went to get a takeaway last night. All the bloody shops are shut. And it's like, flipping heck, fucking Thursday. Yeah, so I went up to York last Sunday, and York was bang on, to be fair. Lovely. Some lovely pubs in York. The only problem is we went up on the day there was a marathon. Did we know there was a marathon? No, we didn't. And so there's a marathon. Couldn't get to the hotel. Parked up at some bloody park and ride. 12 o'clock come. We spoke to a policeman. He says, oh, yeah, the roads are open there. Great, mate. So we queued up, got the bus back to the park and ride, got in the cars, drove over to where the hotel was, couldn't get anywhere near. After trying 5 different places, in the end, someone comes up and says, you're wasting your time, mate. Be 5 or 6 o'clock. And I go, oh, fuck's sakes. So in the end, we thought, sod this. Piss off back to the park and ride. Got back to the park and ride, went back into the city centre, and then went to a couple of pubs then, because by that time we were ready for a drink. I went to the Market Cat. Did I end up in the marathon? Fucking felt like I did a marathon. Keep driving backwards and forwards, wasting my petrol. But yeah, went to the Market Cat, Thornbridge pub. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, nice in there. Bit of a hippie pub, to be fair. But, good range of craft, good range of cask. Thornbridge, it's a good advertisement for Thornbridge. Went to the 2 Trembling Madnesses. Walked into the first one, the little one, in Stone Gate or Stoneware, whatever it's bloody called. And went in there, walked in, and I could have spent a fortune. And I had to stop myself because I was going to crack open 100 quid and spend a fortune, but I'm glad I didn't. We only got so much money to spend. And that was great. And then we went over to, in the end, to Trembling Madness, the Lender one. Good evening, Mr. Nick. Been putting 2 sugar cubes in 2 litres of lager or ginger beer on bottling. Combination is decent. Yeah, sugar cubes. I always put a spoon of sugar in, to be fair. Spoon of sugar per litre. You know, and go from there. What's the ginger beer you're brewing, and what's the lager? Out of curiosity killed the cat. Going to grab a vocation stout. Which vocation? Let us know. But yeah, I liked York. Didn't. Oh yeah, you can still get sugar cubes. Yeah, we use them at work. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get to brew York. That was my only regret about York, that I didn't get to brew York. Gutted about it. But you know how it is. But you want to try and do so many places, and I didn't get to one of the craft beer bar in Filey, and I didn't get to go to a bar, another craft beer bar in both Scarborough and in Bridlington, so kind of missed out there. But it's like I say, you've got other families with you, 3 sets of families, kids involved, so it's a case of if you can get to whatever you can get to, then that's all good. Got some good beers though, mind you. Yeah, I've come back with about 15 beers, so all's good. And got a couple of beer hauls still to do. But I wanted to do the Tesco ones tonight because I wanted to get the beer reviews in while the beers are still very fresh. I do think that Tesco's have played a blinder. I mean, this also at Tesco's, the raspberry strawberry oh bloody hell, the coconut ripple. There we go. That looks a stunner moving forward. Ooh. 6%, but looks great. Bought a corny keg, doing some lager in at 20p, it turns out. I don't even know what a corny keg is, to be honest. Such as my knowledge of homebrew. Yeah. Richie's Simply Ginger Beer. Yeah. Fucking fantastic. Ah. 3-bag recipe with extra ginger. Second bag, as it was banging. I love Simply Ginger Beer. I think it's the most stunning of the ginger beer kits. Yeah, and it actually turns out nice as well. The Cooper's one is actually crap. Always turns out cloudy, never ferments. God knows what they put in there. You know what it is. Good evening, Lorraine, and hope you're well. And nice to be back doing a live, and hopefully I'm not laggy in the phone. It seems that I finally, fingers crossed, finally found a medium. Good evening, Mr. Hophouse. Really enjoyed your corner of the world. And oh, you're drinking the Vocation Brewery mint choc. Yeah. It's like mint choc chip ice cream, but in a barrel aged with a hint of bourbon in the background. It's an absolutely stunning beer. On the dinner break at work here till 11. Oh, fair play. Good evening, Mark. The Vocation, mate, is stunning. It's absolutely stunning. To say this beer is in supermarkets at a price, Vocation are making no profit off this beer, but I enjoyed York, mate. I loved the shambles, the Diagon Alley aspect. There are people queuing for this flipping ghost shop for 2 hours to walk into a ghost shop to pick up little ghost miniatures. I've never seen such rubbish in my life. I can't understand for the life of me why you would. Obviously, there's something about it that's just crazy. And yeah, that had me chuckling. And then there was also a Harry Potter shop where people were queuing. I can understand the Harry Potter, but the ghost shop just made me chuckle. It's like, why would you? But hey ho, You know, we all do silly things, don't we? We've all done silly things. Cooper's Euro Lager. 13 degrees for ages. Great in bottles. Oh, I find the Cooper's ones a little bit troubling. The older style homebrew kits taste homebrewy. If you can master them, you can master any homebrew in me. Good evening, 53 North. Yes, there's got to be some agreement there, hasn't there, with the other beers, because you're not. That's no way. It's more than that price beer, that's for sure. Tour Tesco's on the way to work, went to a massive one in Dudley, and they removed all the craft cans. That's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Good evening, John. How are you, matey? On the Brew York, Fairy Tale of Brew York. Very nice Christmas slurp based on the stolen cake. Stolen. Yeah, who pinched the cake? I know what you mean. 4 packs in the small bottle. Yeah, some Tesco's are crap, aren't they? And some are amazing. The one near us in Filey was rubbish. Absolutely rubbish for any craft. Yeah, literally, it was just trad beer and that was it. Yeah, it's so boring. Benjamin, tomorrow, once I've done the gardens I'm looking after, I've got to come back and go to Tesco's. Hopefully my local Tesco's have got this in and get a bottle of both the Northern Monk and the Vocation. Drinking Camden Hells tonight. Ooh. No homebrew tasters, all clear as a bell. Fair play. You've done well on the Coopers for that. Ghost shop in York, where I live, is part of. Yes, the city. People collect those little ghosts. Ah, right. Yeah, strange, isn't it? Yeah, it's really strange how they go for it. Good evening, David, matey. I'm from Leeds. I know, I'm gutted tonight. You know, I was driving back home from York, and there's Leeds, and I said to the wife, next time we go north, we're going to Leeds, and we're going to do York. We'll stop over in both locations and do all the tap rooms in both locations. Leave the little in at home, and actually do the tap rooms. And as long as I'm paying, she's good for that. You know, as long as I'm paying. Old Crafty Oak Aged. You can't be Old Crafty. You know, we all drink what we drink. It all depends on what you can afford. You know, I have no. If someone likes like the Ruddles that's at £1. Or the Bass that's at £1, we all drink what we drink. You know, it's drinking beer. Oh, right, it's chucking it down. Let me just go and get my dog in. He's outside. He's too old to sit in the rain. 1 second. Chucking it. Oh, bless his little cotton sockies. Can't have him getting wet. He's too old for the wet. Stop in centre of Leeds, can't go wrong. Ah, St Austell's as well. I like St Austell's, to be fair. Raggy, you drink anything? Well, I try to drink a good bit. You know what I mean? Up in Leeds at Halloween, the end of the month. North Tap, Northern Monk and Vocation for death. Oh, you lucky person. 3 bottles for £5 is good. Raggy's gone dogging. Yeah, putting dog in the ass. Yeah. Best bring the wife in. Poor dog. Give him the sip of that Vocation. Yeah, that Vocation. Wow. And he's still tutoring along. You know, he's obviously not going to. He's never going to get any better. But he just keeps going. Bless his little cotton sockies. Leeds beats Sheffield for tap rooms. I think probably Leeds beats Nottingham as well for tap rooms. Vocation isn't Leeds. Where's Vocation then? Is that Hebden, isn't it? Is it Manchester as well? So this is the Pina Cologer, Hebden Bridge. Yeah. Not that I know where Hebden Bridge is. These things into, if you don't know where things are. So this is my Pina Cologer for those just coming on. Mangrove Jacks, Leeds' craft beer hub. Yeah, there's some good stuff in Leeds, isn't there? In Hebden. Yeah, we're mopping up tonight and, cleaning up his mess and keeping him going. So, Lorraine, I'm drinking Mangrove Jack's Pina Cologer. It's a pineapple coconut lager. Homebrew. It's 4%. It's got a, what would you call that colour? It's a strange old colour, and it's like an apricot colour to it. There's no carbonation at the moment. The head's gone. There was no head anyway initially. But yeah, pineapple coconut homebrew lager. And I've got to be honest, it's tasting really nice, to be fair. Oh, it's between Leeds and Manchester. I need to get to vocation. It's on my to-do list, but we've all got jobs, we've all got lives. And it's great when you live nearby to a tap room because you can go relatively easily. When you live far away, it's not so easy. But 4%, you're getting all soft. Yeah, I've had a 12.2 and a 10% tonight, so I'm not doing too bad. Salt of a bar in Sheffield. Ooh. Where was the kit from? Creative winemaking, I think I got my kit from. Yeah, the Mangrove Jacks. It was because I was after certain bits that I wanted it from there. Good evening, Ali. How are you? Yeah, I've done 2 Imperial Stouts before this. Yeah. And they hit home quite hard. They were flipping fantastic Imperial Stouts. Two must-do Imperial Stouts, without a doubt. Got a whiskey on the side. Yeah. Try not to tonight. I've got work in the morning. Yeah. It's been a slightly heavy week as it was, although I brought a shed load of homebrew back. So we didn't drink anywhere as much as I thought we were going to drink. Probably a good thing, in the grand scheme of things. I've actually been rather light on the drinking. Ilkeston, yeah, creative winemakings in Ilkeston. Yeah. Thank you, Ali. It was nice to go up there. First time ever in Filey. I've been to Bridlington before, but only on a drinks thing. So I only remember the pubs of Bridlington, not actually Bridlington itself. And that was 20 years ago. So as much as I'm going to remember, I probably didn't remember anything. And then also Scarborough. I did actually remember some of Scarborough. And I remember walking down to the beach, but that's about it. But luckily the weather was with us. And we had a good time, Scarborough is a great place. For me, Filey is probably the weakest out of the 3. Although there's a fantastic beach in Filey. But don't let your dogs run close to the cliff, because that cliff's massive. Yeah. I watched a programme last night where a dog ran over the cliff, thought he was jumping into water, and it was 100 foot deep below. And the dog made it uninjured. God knows how. I was watching it thinking, I'm not going to like this show. And but really nice to see the dog. It's nice to get away from, your normality, the normality of the world. And see what's out there. Yeah, I wanted to go to the Cobbler's Arms in Filey, but everyone around me wasn't interested, and I'm the one driving. So yeah, it was a case of I couldn't go, and yeah. But next time, if we go again, I'll make sure. Now I know where certain things are. I'll make sure. It's all a case of knowing where things are, isn't it? And when you've got family with you and other families, you know, you have to toe the line, and you can't all be going to the pubs all the time when there's kids with you. And yeah, and it's obviously at the wrong time of the year as well, because it's actually a little bit cool at the moment. Although the weather-wise, we had a good evening, righty. We had a good, out of the 5 days we were there, 4 of the days were absolutely bang on. Thank you, Jack. How are you? And good evening. I've certainly chucked some videos out this week. I do apologise for spamming the video content. Jesus Christ. For those who've never been, Benjamin, 12.2%. The bloody Northern Monk one tasted stronger at 10%. I have no idea how that is, but the 10% one gave me more kick in the ABV department than anything. Cobblers is your faving finally. Raspberry Stout was lovely a week ago. I wish I'd have been able to go. I walked by it last night, and I was looking, but we'd already had a long day out, and everyone was ready for going home. You know, getting a takeaway and going home, and I just wanted to go in and get a pint, and you know, a couple of halves, not do a beer review in there, but just sample the pub and do a bit of a pub review. No, the Vocation one doesn't taste as strong as the North. I'm going to get another of the Vocation, another of the Northern Monks, and then with the Brewdog one that's here, the Rattle and Rum, I'm going to put them against each other at Christmas. If any more come forward, then we'll have beer versus beer battles over at Christmas. But yeah, I need to go to my local Tesco's and see if they've got it in. You know how these things are. Good evening, Martin, and thank you. No, but the mint is nice. It's like a mint ice cream, but in a beer. It's just crazy. It's Vocation are doing amazing beers. Used to go to Scarborough all the time when I was younger. Grandparents had a caravan. Used to have a World War II battle at Peasholm Park with remote control ships and planes. Fair play. Scarborough, actually, I enjoyed Scarborough. We parked in the park and ride and got the bus in. £4.80. There was 3 of us. So you parked up pretty much out the way, got a bus into town, bus back for £4.80. You could not fault it. Could not fault it. Used to go Brid when I was a kid. Also used to stay in a caravan at Flamingo Land. Flamingo Land's caravans are well expensive. Yeah. I mean, we've just paid like 150 quid for 4 days at Filey, which is a good price. I'm hoping to go to Norfolk next year, although the wife's booked to go to Dorset, somewhere in Dorset anyway. I'm not overly fussed about that one, but I am hoping to go to Norfolk next year. And on the way down, I want to do St. Peter's Brewery. I want to do Smiling Grape, low-cost beer. And also do like Pleasurewood Hills, Great Yarmouth theme parks. But we'll see how that goes. You know, money is a killer at the moment. You know, none of us know what spare money we're going to get by this time next year. I've been to Cleanthorpes in my younger days. Yeah. I've been on a works out into Cleanthorpes, you know, where we get drunk and start hitting each other's and stuff. Well, I never did. I just got drunk. But yeah. Whitby and the Heartbeat Village in the Moors. I haven't been to Whitby, but I've been to Staves, which is not far from Whitby. Absolutely stunk. Yeah, that harbour there, their port stinks. Touring caravan. Yeah, that's probably a better way, mate. Because those static caravans at Flamingo Land are well expensive. Absolutely well expensive. Lovely theme park, but bloody expensive. Cleanthorpes all the time to the Tesco. Fair play. We do want to go away more, you know, if we can afford to go away. You know, it's not easy in this day and age. And God, let's hope we get a decent government. Let's hope the government sort themselves out, or we have a general election and we get rid of the Conservatives. Buy whatever you want now because it's all going up in price. It certainly is, mate. You need a new mattress, but consider putting no interest rate on. Probably costs more to buy. This is the problem, isn't it? You just don't know what's going to happen. We're in the middle of a soap opera, but that soap opera is the government in charge of us. It's just ridiculous. Every day throws a curveball. Never seen anything like it. Yeah. Why is the government getting in the news so much? It's just balmy. Gothland is the village. Oh, right, yeah. Lorraine, Rattle and Rum, absolutely stunning. Forget what you know about Brewdog. Brewdog have bought out a lot of crap beers, let's be fair. But Rattle and Rum, absolutely amazing. I thought so anyway. May not be everyone's cup of tea, nevertheless. Adding 4 more years to your mortgage, mate. Yeah. Awful times. Awful times for anyone who's already on the brink. Stave sinks of sewage. Yeah, it wasn't nice when I went. And we went sea fishing. Jesus Christ. And the waters weren't even choppy. And I was dying. I wanted to be sick all night. Not a good feeling. I've had better beer nights when next morning I woke up and I've not felt so bad. You've been to the Tesco in Clearfields where they first had North Brew Cosmonauts. That's supposed to be decent. Whitby Brewery is fantastic beside the Abbey. Had a lockdown beer delivery. Missed our regular trips. Yeah, I was going to go to Whitby, but everyone decided it was too far. It is what it is, you know. It is madness, Tad. It is purely madness at the moment. Rattle and Rum, yeah, absolutely superb. Got to agree with you. Nuclear war is still a threat. Why? Why are these idiots even threatening that? Hopefully, it's just people being idiots. Good evening, Matt. Very well, thank you. Steam train that runs from Whitby. Ooh. If you've got a wood log burner, this winter is the time to use your log burner and brew your home brew. Yeah, brew decent home brew, big strong home brew. Jobs are good, and I wish I had a log burner. Cheers, Mark. Yeah, nice to be back here. The wife's watching Emmerdale Farm, catching up on Emmerdale Farm. So, hey, I'm down the beer room. And gotta say, 4%. It's super refreshing. It's different. So this is Pina Cologer. It's a pineapple coconut lager. For those, good evening, Shelbyville. For those who don't know, and it is Mangrove Jack's kit. Super refreshing, and it's tasting really nice. Not going to be for everyone's cup of tea, mind you. Don't think I could session on it, but certainly a couple of glasses, you know, just to clear the old cobwebs, is amazing. Off to Morrison's tomorrow, hopefully anyway, and hopefully my local Morrison's, one of them, has got the new craft beers in Morrison's, and I've heard there's new beers in Asda too. It's floated up on one of my comments tonight that there's new beers in Asda. So bloody hell, not cheap times for anybody who likes to keep up with the new beers that are in supermarkets. Couple of beers for a nightcap. Hey, I can't fault you. You've got to have a nightcap, haven't you? Anybody watching rugby on BBC Two? Gotta be honest, I find rugby so boring, to be honest, but that's just me. You know, Morrison's have got, so Benjamin will know more than me. Morrison's have got another Northern Monk beer. I think it's called Sanic or Sarnic or something. I presume it's another impy. Good evening, Mr. Slurpee. How are you, matey? Let me do this. Yep, been a while. Hope I haven't woke anybody up watching. But yeah, I think there's a new couple of pollies at Morrison's. Did I hear there's a face bear at Morrison's? So there's definitely some interesting bears coming to Morrison's. Yeah, York was great, mate. Yeah. Market Cat, didn't expect a Thornbridge bar there. Good evening, Miss Q-Bombs. How are you? I've been over to Filey. So I've been to Filey, Bridlington, Scarborough. Yeah, and also Flamingo Land. Sure, I've been somewhere else. Yeah. And York, obviously. Nearly forgot where I was going. Blimey. These things happen, don't you? Yeah. You have a drink and you forget where you are. But yeah, I had a good time. York is definitely a place to visit. Bridlington, yeah, I thought Bridlington. The bell's still going well. Yeah, it's a good bell. Bridlington, it chucked it down. But we had a great day there. For me, Bridlington is probably the best out of all of them because you've got a little roller coaster on the front, kiddies roller coaster, and lots of bars. It's quite condensed. There's no stupid hills. And yeah, I would say, and also in Bridlington, a little tap room on the front, which, I mean, who does not like a tap room? I really enjoyed it. Scarborough's amazing. Filey, I thought, was a little bit quiet. Nice little place. Did not get to go to the one bar I wanted to go to, but hey ho, we've all got bosses, haven't we? Forest tomorrow versus Liverpool, isn't it? Oh my God. I just dread what's going to happen. At some stage, we've got to click, haven't we? And yeah, I just dread it. I absolutely dread it. We got a pasting off Man City the other week, and unless we can stop Liverpool playing, I just don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. The hopping is great in New York as well. Ossett Brewery Pub with Ossett Cask and Salt Keg. See, I would have loved to do that. Do you know, going up there, just me and the wife going up there and meeting up with somebody who's there who knows the place and just go from bar to bar would be amazing. When you don't know, you spend hours walking around looking for stuff and you're walking up and down the same streets about 10 times. And sat-navs is just a waste of time. Yeah, don't talk to me about sat-navs. I was literally 10 yards away from a pub and I couldn't see it. And because it was on the other side. And yeah, sat-nav says, oh, you're there. And I'm thinking, no, we're not. There's no pubs here. And yeah, absolutely waste of time. Yeah. Bridley, I didn't find I wanted to go to the Three Bees micro pub in Bridlington, but never found it. No. And then there was a craft beer pub that was closed. So I reckon we were out of season, which is a bit of a shame, really. I think Henderson's a good keeper, Benjamin. Yeah, he's done well for Forest. I just think that why they bought 22 players just beggars belief. What club buys 22 players at the start of a season? It's just too much. Too much. You kind of killed the flow of the squad. And you'll happily show me around York. Cheers, mate. One day we'll get back up. So we'll put Slurpy's joke on for those who haven't seen it or those in the background. There you go. So there you go. Mr. Slurpy, the king of jokes. And he does have his own channel from the Isle of Man. So make sure you check out Slurpy's YouTube channel. He has got a good sense of humour. Henderson was amazing at Sheffield. Yeah. I'm a Liverpool fan, so sorry, Wraggy, but I hope we win. I just don't know how we're going to go. Beer Fan TV, good evening. How can anyone buy 20 players? Because you can't. we all know if we work with somebody in a workplace, we know your weaknesses and we gel and we know what you can't do. We know what you can do. You can't bring 22 players in because nobody knows each other. The only players who know each other are the ones that are there that can't get in the squad now. Barmy. Costa, good evening. The Vocation Barrel Aged was amazing. It's a must-do beer. If not, probably the best beer in supermarkets this year. But I've got to put it against Northern Monk's Death Star 3 and Brewdog, 1 versus 1, to see which is the best. And I ain't been to Morrison's yet as well. So let me just go back up because I missed a couple of comments there. Comments are flying in. So let me just go back up. And yeah. Got 2 waiting for you. Can't fault you, Costa. Good evening, Wayne. How are you? Forest can bring in some fresh faces. Fuck's sakes. I think we're bringing... I can't see the manager lasting that long. I really can't. I mean, if you're looking from a neutral point of view at Nottingham Forest, what have they done? They've handed the manager a death notice. Because if he can't gel that squad, he's gone. But it's not fair because he brought a squad up that were doing really, really well. I'm a Leeds fan. We're going to couldn't beat a shite Leicester team last night. Oh, we played last night. Yeah, I was speaking to a Leicester fan and he was saying the same. He says, I feel sorry for you, mate, your team. And I said the same to him. Why did we buy 20 players? I can't understand it. 1 for now, 1 for Christmas. Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to buy another one for Christmas tomorrow and put it away. I hope Forest stay up. Fulham can go back down as they usually do. Oh, I hope so. I hope Fulham go down. But Fulham have got, is it Mitrovic? He scored for fun last year in the Championship. If they can keep him and get him scoring, I think they'll easily go mid-table. No decent WIPAs at the moment in the supermarket at the moment. Are they both beating Broadside? Yeah, by some distance. Yeah, Broadside. Last time I had a Broadside, it wasn't good. Gotta be honest. How's the doggo? He's still doing the same. He's still obviously incontinent. I had to rush him out tonight because he was going to do a poo, but he's still walking around. He's still in mental. You know, when he lays down, you can tell he's not the same dog. He's not wagging his tail to us, but he's still walking around. He's being and whatever he's like that, you don't want to do the worst thing, do you? You know, putting him down. I mean, if he could turn around to tell me, I've had enough, I want to go, then I'll do it. But until that time comes, we're just going to have to watch our ears. Once his front end goes, then that's game over. But his front end's still really solid. His back end's struggling, mind you. It's tough, isn't it? We've got Lingard. Flip me, I don't know about Lingard. So, here we go. Slurp is back with let me go back up. Do apologise. A bit behind with the comments. Yakking. So, here we go. Let me show. That's it. And it's great because what I love about the YouTube is there's always somebody entertaining you in the chat, which is how it should be. People entertaining each other's. Yeah, Mitrovic. If he goes down with Fulham, then any club across Europe should be getting him because he's going to be one of these best players in the world. Lingard, don't get me started. Playing Fulham Sunday as well. Yeah, let's hope Lingard. Let's hope he don't get on the pitch. I had 5 nice pints in the Rovers, oyster stout and hip tune. Back home and Wraggys live. Cheers, matey. I can't. I'd rather have lots of variation on beers. We don't want too many of the same beer. We need variation. Brings people into the beer scene. If every beer that came out was an imperial stout, we'd all get bored and drunk and have no money. But yeah, dogs are family. Dogs are a bigger part of the family as anybody, and it does rips my soul apart in a lot of ways. There we go. Let me just push that down. So, there we go. In Douglas tonight, I saw a fellow with a book. He was 6 foot tall and 3 foot wide. I asked him, what's with the huge book? He said, it's a long story. Yeah. You can't beat a laugh, can you? Yeah, we all need that bit of a laugh. I mean, have you seen the jokes across the internet about Liz Truss? I mean, who's going to be the next Prime Minister? Conservatives aren't going to call a general election. There's no chance of that because they know they're out. Yeah. So there's no chance on God's green earth that they're calling an election. Can you see it? I can't. But Sunak, Mordaunt, Penny Mordaunt. I actually think Penny Mordaunt's probably the best out of the three. And then obviously Boris. Oh. Banker's cat in Leeds. I do need to go to Leeds. I do. Yeah, the COVID times were brilliant, weren't they? You know, the lives kept me going though, Slurpee as well. Yeah, they were great. And then I've for so many months I've had that many problems trying to do a live, and now all of a sudden the Chromebook seems to be all of a sudden the best way for me to do lives. Wow. 3 nights booked in number 10 for your birthday. Anyone for a short stay? Yeah. And you go there for 44 days and you get 115,000 quid a year for the rest of your life. Job's a good one. I mean, in some ways, did Liz Truss play a blinder? Did she do what she did? Get into government, royally knacker it up for £115,000 a year. That is some bonus. I mean, if that was what she did, could you imagine if that was what she did on purpose? If she did that on purpose by employing the worst chancellor in history, she's already worth 7 million. Bloody, some people are lucky, aren't they? Yeah. Penny Mordaunt was your favourite, a bad bunch. Stood in. Yeah, I seen her on the Prime Minister's questions, and I thought she gave over an aura. You know, gives over a strength. Jeremy Hunt, whether you like him or don't like him, he gives strength. You look at him, you see strength. I look at Penny Mordaunt, I see strength. I look at Rishi Sunak, I see somebody whose wife's robbing the country and who's a billionaire. Better than Cloughie at Leeds. Yeah, only 43 days at Leeds, didn't it? Yeah. It's a strange one, isn't it? Yeah. Tories are choosing someone Spencerable now. Welcome, Frank Spencer. He'd probably be better. Ooh, better. Trust the reason I'm remortgaging for extra 4 years. Yeah, I know. And in a lot of ways, you know, 44 days to ruin the country. Jesus Christ. I mean, Boris, love him or hate him, Boris was a 10 times more stable than them, despite the fact he liked a bit of partying in Downing Street where everybody else was in COVID, which didn't go down well nonetheless. But let's be fair, Sunak was in them bloody parties. The rich people are running the show, aren't they? Yeah. Angela Rayner, I think she'd make a good Prime Minister, I do. Yeah. There's something about her that's, she's got this fire that you don't see in the others. And she certainly tells it how it is. You know, she's a proper northern girl who says, you know, and sometimes you just need somebody who doesn't beat around the bush and says a twat is a twat, and she's that person. I think she'd be an interesting Prime Minister. Keir Starmer, I don't know. To me, it looks like he needs to go for a good dump, but being honest. But yeah. It's amazing how this 1922 committee have got so much power. They obviously told her she's got to go. Oh, Rayner. I'd go for Rayner. See you later, Mr. Hophouse. I hope you're well, mate. Mark, we've got to get rid of the rich, of the Conservatives. Keir Starmer is a doom bar drinker. Yeah. Keir Starmer wants to take the money off the what they call them, the non-doms, those who work in this country and pay their taxes abroad, which is bollocks. If you're in this country, you pay your taxes here. Lewis Hamilton included, yeah. And another one who spouts all about his what he does and doesn't get, but pays his taxes abroad. Can't stand it. I wish I was the Prime Minister. Oh, fuck about. But yeah. They all know, the Conservatives know their time's over. And but we've got to take the money off the gas companies and put it back towards the lower paid to balance this country out, so that the lower paid can spend money again, because the rich don't spend money because they don't pay any taxes in the first place. And we all know this. I've got friends who earn pretty close to 100 grand a year, who fiddle their way out of taxes, pay less tax than I do. And it absolutely, makes me rife with anger. They treat themselves as directors. And because they're directors, they pay a dividend. So they pay themselves £100 a week or whatever it is. Then at the end of the month, pay themselves a dividend. So it's just the rich getting richer. Disgusting. Micro bars and roller coasters everywhere. Fantastic. Bloody would be. Yeah. I was in charge. I'll be threatening Putin. That's it. You pack your shit in, or we'll just nuke you. Scotland losing 66-0 to the Aussies. Oof. You earn 100,000 plus and pay huge tax, right, mate? Well, you may do, but I know people that earn money and their accountants fiddle the shit out of it. Fair play if you do. If you're honest, you're honest, But yeah, these people I know get away with it, and it just, when you pay tax yourself, and it just, it just gets on your tits. And then you get the mega rich that have their money going abroad, like these non-doms that pay nothing. Yeah, these are people who own their own business, mate. Yeah. No, not when you work. No. Benjamin, actually, it's the lower paid that pay the more taxes. Yeah, the lower and middle earners pay the most. It's the business owners that pay little to nothing, because they can do all the fiddling. We can't. And when you work, no, you're slaughtered, aren't you? And it's sad. Any tax rise I've had is just wiped out by the inflation, if not even worse. So what I'm drinking is Mangrove Jack's Pina Cologer, 4%, pineapple coconut lager, very different, surprisingly easy drinking. It's got like an apricot looking colour to it, if that's what the colour is. I'm crap at colours. I don't know what it looks like over there, but here it's got like an apricot colour to it. Not much carbonation on it now. It's been like 50 minutes or so, although I have pulled this. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, as for a lager, you know, it's nice for a homebrew lager. It doesn't taste in any way slightest bit like a lager. It's very like modern, like a craft lager in a lot of ways, and it is. It's really different. There's a lot of funding to the parties, isn't there? Yeah, they're all as bad as each other's. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to brew an imperial stout soon. Hoping to do chocolate sponge and mint custard pale at Northern Monk. 6%. Oh, did you enjoy your time around Leeds yesterday? I know you tagged me in. Sounded amazing. Sounded, you know, an amazing day. One of these days, I'll get back. I'll get up to Leeds. Thirsty Ferret. I actually like Thirsty Ferret. I do like the trad beers. Badger's beers make some amazing beers, mind you. Thirsty Ferret, Golden Champion, Golden Glory, Poacher's Choice, obviously. Some Partridge as well. There's a Partridge one that they brought out. Hopping Hare. You know, they do make some awesome beers, do Badgers. And noticeably of late, Badgers are owned by Hall and Woodhouse. And Hall and Woodhouse, under their name, have been brewing beers for Sainsbury's and Aldi under the Taste the Difference and specially selected ranges. So obviously trying to differentiate themselves from the Badgers beers. But anybody who knows Badgers beers knows that it's the proper name for Badgers beers is Hall and Woodhouse, because they're the owners. So I've tried to tag him in on Facebook, but it was not happening. Won't let me. And when I reviewed their beers, but in any case, yeah, cracking beers. So, tomorrow on the channel, got a review the Vault City Raspberry Strawberry Coconut Ripple at 6%. Anybody got this and tried it yet? Looking to review that tomorrow. See how it is. Glory Hole. That's a good bad. Glory Hole. Yeah, that's not a Badger beer. Yeah. You get glory holes in toilets, but let's not go down that route. So I also got this today, Heathen Hazy IPA. I'm sure that Northern Monk have bought quite a few different Heathen beers out in the past. So says it's new in Tesco's. Whether it's actually new, I'm not 100% sure. I could have sworn I've seen a CBD Heathen before. Glory old. That's just fucking brilliant, that is. Funny. I mean, I used to work on a public park looking after the toilets as part of my duties. Yeah, lovely job. And only walking in, only giving a quick clean in the morning, mind you. Disgusting job. And yeah. And there was a hole in the door there. I didn't know what it was called. And I mean, I was quite young at the time. I was only like 17. I didn't know what a lot of things were called. I lived quite a sheltered life. And only years later did I understand what the terminology glory hole meant. And yeah, not good. Not good. Not going down that road. But in any case, yeah, I'm enjoying this. Turn the drinkers' heads. Oh, it's hard to know, really. Going to get the Vault City tomorrow. Fair play. Sounds amazing. Obviously, I'll know tomorrow. And then there's Heathen Defo Not Know. Yeah, how do you think it was? I know I've seen a CBD Heathen before. Must do a homebrew and name it Creamy Head. Yeah. Yeah. I suppose it would be good to do a beer and call it something that's totally got a second name on it, a second meaning. Bang the Elephant did one. Oh God, they did a beer and it had a different meaning to it, totally different meaning. Because what they had is tissues in the corner on the bottom. On the bottom of the can, they had tissues in the corner. And if Shane and Liam were on tonight, they'd know, because we were talking about this particular beer, but it's gone from my head. But it just goes to show you, sometimes you can name a beer something, and a lot of people, it would go woof over their head, and some people would straight away know, especially what the crack is. I 53 North, I was actually surprised that any new beers were coming out, because obviously with what's going off in the wider world, and if you looked at Tesco's, their craft beer range shrank massively. They got rid of a lot of good beers. They brought in Beavertown, which is Heineken, and Brewdog, which both them breweries can produce craft beers mega cheap because of in so much bulk, and all the other beers got squashed out the equation. So for them, for these new beers to come in was very, very interesting. Will they last? It's going to be interesting. Good double meanings though, yeah. Good evening, Christopher. And it has been a long time. How are you? Been poorly. Yeah, well, COVID and severe colds and flus are all back on the agenda, aren't you? Whether you've got COVID, which you don't know sometimes, most of the time, or whether you've got just a kick in the bollocks, cold or flu. Yeah, they just get to you. And when you haven't had a cold or flu for a while, they just wallop you. Beavertown, yeah, Beavertown. Years ago, yeah, pretty decent. Certainly one of the the originals, more of the like an original craft beer brewery. These days, Heineken, yeah. And for a lot of craft beer aficionados, Heineken's not the way to go. Heineken, Foster's, Strongbow, all owned by that, Heineken bubble. McEwen's I like McEwen's Champion, to be fair. I do like McEwen's Champion. Good evening, Carla. How are you? Yeah, McEwen's Champion. It's £1.49 or somewhere thereabouts. And it's a decent beer, to be fair. 7.3%. The first time I drank it, couldn't drink it. It was too strong. It was too malty. I just could not get on with it. These days, I really, really enjoy it. So, your taste buds change over the years. And, we all do, don't we? All our taste buds change. And what was once brilliant has died down. I mean, if you take a look yourselves at a beer or lager 10 years ago that you loved, that you can't even stand today, and you'll all come up with one or two that you think, no, can't do it anymore. Good evening, Liam. How are you? Accidentally on purpose been back into Blue Monkey today. Fair play, fair play. Even weekly stock up of New Hampshire. Wow. So you like it that much then? Did you see anybody in there today? Bloke with white hair, that would be Ian. He'd be one of the bosses, if not the boss these days. He does seem to be. He's definitely a director there. And he does seem to be running the show these days. Yeah, 7.3% these days is nothing, is it? I mean, in the back years ago, 7.3% was, Jesus Christ, that's strong. Nowadays, it's like session strength. It's crazy. Yeah, I do like a McEwen's champion. I must pit supermarket trad beers. The King is back. King Goblin is my number one traditional supermarket beer. It's not fair to put it against craft beers because the price difference is too big. But I must put it up against McEwen's champion in a beer battle. I need to get two of them and do another beer battle live, and give a bit of notice for people to join in on that beer battle, so we can all see what we like, and go from there. It would be interesting. So you're not the only one, Tad. I find 7.3 very, very weak these days. This is like a refreshing soft drink for me. Paulana in Tesco, yeah, for £3.5. Absolutely banging prices. You know, you have to look where the cheap beers are these days, and if you see somewhere that do beers cheap, then it's worth utilising that. I mean, I went into Trembling Madness in York the other day, and God, they had some stunning beers for a cheap price. Death Star Free. Whoa. Funnily enough, Death Star Free is 10.5%. The Vocation Mint one is 12.2%. Death Star Free tastes stronger. I have no idea how, why, but it does. But it's amazing nonetheless. Yeah, it's a stunner. Yeah, a definite must-drink beer. Tad, to be honest, I can't do 10 pints. A few strong beers, a couple of whiskies, happy days. I can, but I'm trying not to. Yeah. I'm trying to be good. Wayne, did you get the strongest beer in the world? Yes. Yeah. So I bought it last weekend, and it came midweek. Sat on the stairs. Well, it better be sat on the stairs. There's a box on the stairs with a little bottle. I can feel there's a bottle in there. So that's the one. I'm hoping to do it not a week on Saturday, because I'm supposed to be going out to a tap room, but probably 2 weeks on Saturday. I'm going to schedule it in so it's ready, and schedule in that live beer review, which should be absolutely hilarious. Yeah. And hopefully I'm all good. Yeah. Have some food beforehand. Try not to get too drunk, and drink it. 75%. So not the easiest beer in the world to drink, but yeah, should be good. Tad, probably best looking around now for some Christmas beers. Yeah, you know, getting those Christmas beers in. This year, only buying one advent calendar. I'm going for the low cost beer advent calendar, and I'm gonna, you know, just get that. I've paid 50 quid for it. Should be arriving, I presume, mid-November, and then I'm all good. I may buy some Christmas beers as well, like you're saying there. Buy some Christmas beers and just pop the odd Christmas beer in. But I'm not buying two calendars because, to be honest, it's a lot of, you know, a lot of those beers from the local, and it gets boring reviewing the same beers. I know it's local breweries, but there's only so much you can do. You know, if they can't be bothered to bring new beers out, then it's not easy. Carla, do you know these stouts like Brewdog Layer Cake and Northern Malt Biscuit, chocolate and caramel porter? bursting with calories, sugar and saturated fat, or is it just flavouring? I would think any beer above a certain, I mean, anybody can chime in on this. Any beer above a certain ABV, the calories are going to be higher. I would assume that. A lot these days is essence. They use essence to flavour the beers. So even though they are stronger, it's not always that the case that there's a lot more calories. However, sugar content and that, I mean, like anything, you know, moderation's the key. Like with diets and that sort of stuff, you know, just by calming down. Here's me saying that to someone like me who's a sod for not calming down, but calming your beer, moderating what you drink is the very, very best way to not, you know, not taking too many calories through drink. You know, he says, not that he does, but he says. Just opening the Vocation Special Edition Ascension, 6.8% DDH Hazy IPA. Oh, fair play. Good evening, Brett. I hear our man, all the beer, no idea, is in your part of the world, in Southampton. What's he down there for? It looked like he was getting a plane from Manchester to Southampton, which is a bit strange. Or is he going on a bit of a cruise? Hey. A bit of a dogging cruise. Any beer is loads of calories. Yeah, I presume it is. I presume it is, you know, in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. I mean, this year I've put weight on. And I know this because usually on any given normal summer, I'm mowing a lot more. So I'm walking around a lot more with a mower. Walking up and down, mowing gets the weight off. And this year I haven't because we've had such a bloody dry summer and I've put more weight on. And literally, you know, as you get older, obviously, it's not as easy to burn the weight. Yeah, they should have, Carla, they should have a calorie thing on the beer. I would have thought most beers have some calorie count things on the beer. I'll get the one I've drank tonight, the Death Star Free. Good evening, Disco. It's been a while, matey. Yes, it's been very rainy the last 2 days, hasn't it? So we'll have a look, see if there's actually a calorie thing on the beer. This beer is 4.6 UK units. So how many units are you supposed to drink a week? Is it 14? Yeah. Did anybody watch Good Morning Britain the other morning when Adrian Charles was on? And he was saying he was drinking 100 units a week for 40 years. Yeah. Well, I've only been drinking it for 10 years. So job's a good one. So, yeah, it doesn't on here at least. Hold on. Yeah, there's nothing about calories on the beer. So if you are watching calories, yeah, if you are watching your calories, this one at least does not tell you. I'll check the Vocation one out. Normally they do 14 units a week. So probably today I've already had 14 units. Probably. Although I've only had 2 beers and Jesus Christ, I can't read all that. It's Chinese. And again, nothing on here about calories. Yeah. 4 units in that one, funnily enough. Just got soaked in the massive rainstorm out on the hunt for Vocation 12% chocolate mint. 4-mile walking, no reward. Damn, that is shame, matey. That's a massive shame. Yeah. What I can tell you, Disco, it's a stunning beer. Ah, Carla, you had the Brewdog and Rattling Rum. Thought it was really nice. Fair play. That's good to hear. Twice the calorific content of a regular IPA. I would think it probably is. I would assume so. But obviously, you know, for people who are watching calories, you know, in a lot of ways, you would think they would put the content on you know, on a can. But it's difficult, isn't it, you know, in that respect. For a lot of us, we don't want to know what we're drinking because we don't want to know what calories we're drinking. And I suppose for a lot of people, you want to know. So, you know, I mean, literally the other day we did like 17,000 steps. So, Saturday Night Live, maybe. If I can go to the shop and get the right beers, I need to get King Goblin and I need to get Champion to do a battle of the beers. Benjamin, for sure. Yeah, this world, what are we living in at the moment? It's crazy, isn't it? We've got a government that's the worst government we've ever seen. We've got a nutter in Russia, a nutter in China, idiots in Iran, idiots in South Korea. And across the world, there just seems to be a lot of stupidness going off. I don't need to know about calories. I don't have any gas bottles in the house. Fair play, fair play. Good evening, Phil. Sometimes it's brewed with chocolate. Sometimes they chuck cocoa in. Sometimes coffee. And so, a lot of the time, sometimes it's the malts. And sometimes it's just essence as well. So to get certain flavors, they add essence, which give you the flavors. But obviously there's a balance on there. So like Wayne's saying, I've got a North Star Free Black Forest Imp Imperial Stout. 4 units, 9%, but it's cacao powder, vanilla. Don't think it's flavouring. Seems quite natural ingredients. Yeah, I mean, it depends with the vanilla. If it's essence, it could be vanilla pods. Good evening, Thomas. How are you? Yeah, it's different breweries do different things. I got a Champion in King Goblin for Mazda. Ooh. I've got to get a Champion in King Goblin because they're cheap, so it's literally £3. It's a good live. King Goblin is at the moment the supermarket trad supermarket beer of the year. It beat Broadside, which is something, because Broadside's a stunning beer, but the last Broadside I had didn't taste right. So chucking it down with rain again. Good old weather. As if it's not been chucking it down all day. £2.40. Yes, Carla. I think it's a top class. For me, it's one of the best free releases in supermarkets this year. If this was a craft beer by anybody else, bought supermarket, if it was from somebody like Cloudwater, it would be £8 or £9, as Benjamin would probably agree with. From Brewdog, because they can get it out for the price they can get it at, £2.40. You wouldn't see it in a bottle shop at £2.40. Brewdog Mallow Quest. Sure I have at some stage. Yeah, absolutely sure I have. Yeah, lots of good price beers out there for definite. Yeah, and good to see supermarkets coming back with some good beers, because let's be fair, The majority of the public are supermarket beer drinkers. So you get somebody who buys their beers from supermarkets, the natural progression is from supermarkets to craft beer bottle shops and craft beer shops and tap rooms. So I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, yeah. Pissing down in Chesterfield, yeah. Certainly doing the same in Nottingham, yeah. Chesterfield, I like too. Love brewing country. Yeah. One of these days I'd like to bump into Richard from Love Brewing. Although I bet he don't go to work these days very often. Apart from his videos on YouTube. He must be earning a few bucks these days. Homebrew has got massive these last 2 years. And it was big before, but the last 2 years it's grown massively. So, hopefully the wife's watched all the Emmerdale farm. Jesus Christ, Emmerdale, who wants to live there? Worst place in the country. It's even worse than being a Prime Minister. Hey? I suppose being a Prime Minister, 44 days is a long time. In Emmerdale, whew, dear, 44 days. It can last that long. And in Nottingham as well, yeah, it's chucking down here. The funny thing is, we do need the rain. As much as it's chucked it down, the rivers and the offshoots of the rivers that store the water for when the rivers start to run dry are really, really low. So as much as it's rained, it ain't anywhere near enough. A can of layer cake is 339 calories. 9.7 grams of sugar per can. That's not a lot, is it, Ali? When you think about it. 9.7 grams of sugar per can. Not when you look at Coca-Cola. You know, the normal Coca-Cola. I'm sure the normal Coca-Cola is something like 40 or 50 grams. Silly amount of sugar per can. Although it gives you a good boost, nonetheless. You should go for the PM job, free beer for everyone. Be good, wouldn't it? Good evening, Paul. How are we, matey? And Castle Rock did well at the beer festival, I thought. I love the salt collaboration. Good evening, Matt. And how are you? $339 calories is a lot. Sure, it's garlic bread, mate. Crack your teeth on. Ouch. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. York. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed York, apart from the marathon. I did not enjoy the bloody marathon. Yeah. I was really, really, really hoping to get to Brew York. Didn't make it. You know, everything floated against us. You should have no more than 30 grams of sugar a day. Boo. That's a shame. Danielle at the beer festival. So Danielle, she's a lovely lady who lives near me, and she lives in Arnold, and she works for Nottingham Evening Post, and she does like pub reviews. She likes her beer, fair play. You know, she's a lovely girl. She had some bloke abuse her in a pub for putting on weight, and that's disgusting. The one thing you never do to a lady is ever say anything about her weight, and you shouldn't do that to anyone. You know, everyone's got their own issues in life. You should never say that. Somebody did, and she was upset. The good thing is, the landlord and landlady of that pub kicked the bloke out and says, "You're not allowed in this pub anymore. We don't want your type of people in this pub." And that is amazing, you know. Good on them. But yeah, Danielle, she's a lovely girl, loves a beer. You know, she's very pro the beer community. And no, she doesn't have a YouTube channel. I wish she did, actually. She'd make a great YouTube beer reviewer. I don't think she's got time. She's got children, 2 children, 3 dogs, cats, birds. God knows how she keeps them all in the same house. And I know she's got birds. I'm not sure about the cats, but she's definitely got dogs. 3 dogs and cats and stuff. And yeah, Matt, yeah, I'd love to have done a lot more in York. If things have gone down how we wanted them to go down, we would have spent the whole day in York, took the bus home at night, back to the hotel, and gone to bed. As it happened, it all kind of crumpled. Stupid bloody marathon, and poor organisation of the marathon. But hey, we did what we did. I found a Thornbridge pub that I'd never seen him in, never even heard about. Got to both the Trembling Madnesses. Preferred the older Trembling Madness to the new one. I thought the new one was a bit craft beer, hipster, whereas the older one was more old-fashioned and certainly a place where I'd like to have a beer. And I actually didn't have a beer in there as well. I walked around the shop and I was like, on the floor. Chin was on the floor, licking my lips, looking at all the beers. And I nearly spent 100 quid. But I didn't, thankfully, because I couldn't have afforded it. Stonegate Trembling Madness. Ah, right, yeah. It is Stonegate then. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, thought it was. Yeah. Is it Stonegate or Stoneware? I thought it was Stonegate, but yeah. You've had 5 pints of the Salt Collab tonight. Fair play, Paul. Fair play. Castles in the Skies is the Salt Collab with Castle Rock Brewery. Ah, yeah, and he's already answered. So there you go. Stonegate. I need to make sure I rectify that. I changed it. I don't know why. The Shambles in just down from the market. Cat is great, but very small. Yeah, we went when the marathon was on, and it was crazy busy, and I do mean crazy busy. Every single bloody shop with breakfast was rammed. Did I see the little red devil on the wall opposite Trembling Madness? No, I didn't actually. No, wish I did now. Carla just got a selection from Tesco. King Goblin, Citra IPA, Black Sheep Mill Stout, and Tropical Ferret. Yeah, King Goblin is a beer and a half. Strong, 6.6%, but certainly a very decent beers. Rasco, I could go bankrupt in Trembling Madness. You and me both, mate. Not only have you got the flipping beers, you've got all the spirits, you've got the glasses on top. Oh. See you later, Tad. The boss. Yes, I know. I too. I'm gonna have to get going in a minute. The boss calling. So I'm drinking, mate, Paul. This is Pina Cologer. So it's a hazy pineapple coconut lager. Mangrove Jacks is the brand, homebrew. 4%. Really big pineapple on those. Pineapple and coconut on the taste. Super refreshing and easy to drink. 4%. It's it's not going to hurt you. And it's super quaffable. It's certainly going down a treat. And yeah, York at Christmas. I know. I love Christmas. I'm a massive Christmas fan. My only problem is trembling. Do a make your own advent candy. You pick yourself. Be a good present if you want them to be a surprise. Ooh. Ooh. I had to have a bag of sugar. Oh, well. Either the internet's playing up or all of a sudden I've gone onto Wi-Fi. Oh, I'm back on normal now. That was interesting. So yeah, it's £20 for the kit. And I think I paid a bag of sugar. So basically 40 pints for about 21 quid. We'll call it 21 quid. So literally 50 to 60 pence a pint. So not a bad price, in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, and make your own advent calendar. Ooh, that would be interesting. I've got a low-cost beer advent calendar coming this year, 50 quid, 24 different cans and bottles, and that's going to be interesting. Don't know what they are, what's coming, what styles or anything, brands. So I'm really looking forward to that, and daily live reviews. Where I can review the beer and then just chit chat for an hour. So basically, an hour each day in December, just chatting, which is why I'm super glad that the internet's working again, because it's been a long time and no internet working. And even though tonight's been an hour and 35 minutes, can't do that all the time. But it's been great. And hopefully the wife's watched all the Emmerdale and caught up. Emmerdale bores me sick, so I'm glad I'm not watching it. Everyone's dying every other week, so it's just yeah, I reckon they do it just to get rid of the staff. Yeah, you imagine them doing it at your workplace every week. There's a car crash and kills 5 staff off. Yeah, not good. We stayed in a pub called the Black Swan, haunted. Lovely old pub with 4 poster beds and creaky floorboards. Ooh. Yeah, I get what you say, mate. Yeah, this is the thing with the low cost. I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know what brands they are. So I'm really happy with low cost. 50 quid, 24 beers, jobs are good. And Griff, you're damn right. Half the time, the only reason to do these killing things on Emmerdale and that is just to get rid of a load of actors they want to get rid of. You know it. You know why. It's what they're doing it for. Something big and controversial gets rid of like 5 or 6 cast members, and all for cutbacks. Adnam's broadside, yes, I agree, Carla. Adnam's is, and as well as King Goblin is actually a good Christmassy type beer. To Old Tom, 1698, Fuller's 1845. They're all that sort of strong fruitcake Christmassy beer. Vocation Ascension, fruity, refreshing. Can't say, I can't remember if I've had it or not. If it's new, then no. If it's an older one, maybe I've had it. You know how it is. You have that many beers that you forget, don't you? In the grand scheme of things. Yeah, I do. I have been buying quite a few traditionals lately. So I brought the traditionals back onto the channel because a lot of people, like myself, can't afford £10, £11 craft beers. We all have to be sensible. So when a beer's £1.50, it's new. Rightio. When a beer's £1.50, £1.70, they are beers that, for the most of us, not everyone, there's lots of people on the breadline who can't even afford beers these days. But for a lot of people, they can afford £1.50, £1.70 beers. And for that, doing a battle, traditional beer battles are great because 2 beers, say about £3, £3.50 in total, against each other's. They're cheap. They're what a lot of people can do. And you can drink them. When I do a live beer versus beer, you can join in. And for the most part, you'll probably be like me. 2 beers is like, woof, that's it, I've had enough, and stop falling asleep. Yeah, £3.50 for a single can. I understand that. Yeah, I come from that sort of background where, it's very difficult to justify paying above £5. I have done, and it's very disappointing when you buy a £13 beer and you taste it and it's like, it's no better than something I can get for £3. And it is tough. Good evening, Derek. Yeah, he said he didn't know. He may not have known. I've worked in supermarkets, so I used to know when beers were coming in. But if you're working on a department where you're not in that department, you're just working there basically as a lackey, you may not know what's coming. If somebody who's on that department who actually is that department, they will, if they're interested, they'll know what's coming up and they would be able to tell you. That's where beer reviewing and especially beer halls are really, really interesting. Because most beer reviewers try to keep ahead of the game. Bullman Beer Reviews is probably the best in the country. You know, for some reason, Carlisle seems to get beers before everybody else, including our man in Barry Island. But yeah, I dare say you'll get them new styles. You should do, or go to a Tesco Extra near you. You should do. I've done Ascension before. So for those watching, Paul Ware would know. He is a true vocation aficionado. This is the great thing about the beer community. I don't know everything. Never would profess to know everything. There are much better people out there than me. But you know what you know. But the people who follow the channel, some of them know a lot more than you. But they're not the sort of people who want to go YouTube wide, which is why the comments are great to watch, because in the comments there are people that really do know their stuff and who are fans of a particular brand and who know that brand better than any beer reviewer. Do you know, Mark, I used to love Miller's Draft. It was my favourite lager. Absolute favourite. I used to absolutely love it. These days, it didn't taste very good at all, but in the old days, used to love it. That Vocation mint stout took me 3 different Tesco's. Yeah, I do think it's a miss until it's out all around. It is getting a bit more expensive, Carla. Yeah, you do have to, there are lots of good traditional beers out there, especially if you look at different breweries. I mean, I've been to Bridlington this week and I've picked up 6 beers from a traditional brewer. And his beers are like craft beers, but done traditionally. But his beers are outstanding, and I'm going to start reviewing them on the channel next week. Just to chuck some exposure his way, and just to give that bit of love out. All businesses deserve a bit of free promotion, and that's where it should be, really, for me. Bring back the Vocation Banoffee Stout. Me too, mate. Me too. Yeah, disco. It's crazy, isn't it, mate? Sometimes I never got the Imperial Kirsch from Tesco's. Never seen it, never got it, ended up buying it from Vocation. Pissed me off royally. Will I get the Vocation? Will I get these 2 in my local Tesco's tomorrow? I have no idea. No idea. Thank you, Martin. And will these 2 be in my local Tesco's tomorrow? I got to hope so, because where I got them from today was a trek. And I don't like trekking out to bloody Tesco's to get a beer. So, got to run nearly 2 hours. I'm going to get a bollocking off the wife if I'm any longer. But thank you for everybody for joining in tonight. We'll hope to do another live, maybe tomorrow. We'll put it on the channel earlier on so that everybody can see. Oakham Citra. Yeah, I do like Oakham Citra. Oakham were the first brewery in the country, supposedly, to use Citra as a hop. So they are part of the modern craft beer scene, whether they like it or not, because because they're using that hop first. But thank you, everyone, and see you soon. Gotta run. Cheers all. Don't want no bollockins, do we? Cheers. Can I tell him to leave about 10 times here?